Let me know where you're joining from for those hopping in. Okay, so Mark 4:39. And here it says, this is where Jesus calms the storm. And Mark 4, it starts at verse 35, where Jesus calms the storm. And we're talking about in scripture where the Lord is telling us to be still. Here he's calming the storm. So let's read this. It says in verse 35, that day when evening came, he said to his disciples, let us go over to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along, just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. Come on, let's picture this now. In the middle of the storm, Jesus was in the stern. He's sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, Teacher, don't you care if we drown? He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, Quiet, be still. Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? They were terrified and asked each other, Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him. Do we see this is interesting because, right, we just read in Psalm 46:10 where it says, Be still and know that I am God. And about the stillness that God is calling and commanding us to. And here we see Jesus calming the storm. And he says, it says, he got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, Quiet, be still. Here again, the command of being still. He's commanding the wind and the waves to quiet and be still. He's bringing the wind and the waves, the things of this earth, to a place of stillness, to a place of quietness. And it obeyed, right? The wind died down and it was completely calm. I found what was interesting where it said he got up and rebuked the wind. And I felt like the Lord was saying, like, this is a picture of what he's calling us to, is that stillness, in that getting quiet, getting in his calmness, his solitude, his quietness. He's calling us to that. He's not calling us to the chaos. He's not calling us to the squalls and the dysfunction and the disorder. That's the opposite of who God is. God is a God of order. God is a God of peace and calm and stillness and solitude and so much more. But just to think that if he has calmed the storm here, as we read in scripture, if he has commanded and rebuked the wind and the waves and commanded them to quiet and be still, and then they obey and become quiet and still, how much more is the Lord saying to us to be still and know that I am God? There's such a similarity from we see Jesus calming the storm to Jesus commanding us to be still. and know who He is. Know that He is God. He is the God of all things. He is the God of order.